Most traders are obsessed with having a 90% win rate. They think that being right is the only way to be profitable. But here's the truth. The most successful traders oftentimes lose more than they win. Today, I'm going to show you the exact math of how a low win rate strategy can still be profitable. In fact, more profitable than a strategy that has a high win rate and a lower risk to reward. Now let's get into the chart where I can show you guys some real life examples of how this actually works and how you can still be profitable with a low win rate. Now, there's too many people that put a lot of emphasis on win rate and not enough emphasis on risk to reward, which is actually more important than your win rate. Now, the reason why it is important, I'm going to show you guys right now in some actual trades here. So these are trades that I would actually take, okay? And we have this 15-minute fair value gap here. If you guys don't already have my model, you guys can watch through the other videos that I have, or all you do is use code KEY on any of the prop firms in the description below. And then there's the last link in the description is a PDF where you can claim it completely for free. All you have to do is use code KEY, put your confirmation into the PDF, and it'll give you an exact full breakdown of my exact model, okay? But anyways, we have obviously this 15-minute fair value gap here where we're trying to frame a potential trade off of, okay? So the aligned time frame for a 15-minute is going to be a 1-minute time frame, okay? Now I'm going to show you guys here, I'm going to demonstrate a 50% win rate to you, okay? So let's go back to this candle right here, the candle that first pushes into this 15-minute, okay? We're going to go down to a 1-minute because that's where we want to get our entries from, okay? And let's say that we get an entry here from an inverse fair value gap, okay? So that would be this inverse gap. I'm just using this for example's sake, not a trade that I would actually take, but let's say for example's sake, we wanted to enter off of this inverse fair value gap. What would that trade look like? So this trade would have you'd probably enter on a closure, right? You'd have a stop loss at the low and you would TP, let's just say Asia high, okay? This is a 4R trade, okay? So once it goes, right? And here we actually have a change in state of delivery as well. This is where I would enter my trade. Okay, we have a change in state of delivery here. So actually I'm going to remove that entry and I'm going to put it up here instead, okay? So the change in state of delivery is where we want to get our entry. Risk to reward is 2.8 to the low with a stop loss at the low, right? And now let's see how this works. This trade I would not take, right? This is just for example's sake. I would not take this because we have this fresh 4-hour gap, 4-hour open here. And that 4-hour open does not have a manipulation leg to the downside. We know that if price is going to go higher, it needs to go lower first to properly manipulate a specific time frame candle. In this case, it's the 4-hour. So we don't have a manipulation leg yet, so not a trade I would take, but let's see how this works out. We end up going straight to the stop loss. So that is now you are down 1R. Okay, you're down 1R total. You lost one trade. Cool. Let's see if we can potentially frame another trade here now that we have a low put in on this 4-hour. I'm going to turn off 30 minutes so it's a little easier to see. Okay, so let's see if we can frame an entry now. And we I don't have an entry yet. There's our entry. Okay, so we have a 1-minute change in state of delivery right here. Okay, and this is where we want to get our entry from. So let's say we get an entry right here on this candle. Stop loss is going to go at this low, and you're going to target again the Asia high, right? This is just the first high that I'm seeing. There's probably a lot more, but this is a 5.3R. Okay, so a little higher in terms of R multiple. So let's see how this works. And there you go. There is your full TP 5.3R. Okay, straight to the Asia high. Now, this my win rate so far on the day, right, between the first trade that I took here and the second trade that I took here is 50%. I have a 50% win rate here today. However, I am nicely green. I'm very profitable, right? I'm up on the day a total of 4.34R, right? This trade was 5.34R, okay? The other trade was a 1-hour loss. So therefore, I'm up on the day 4R and thus still profitable, okay? Now, another thing to keep in mind is that I could have had even a 20% win rate here, okay? I could have lost 4 times in a row and then took this trade for 5.3R, right? Assuming the stop loss is somewhat similar, okay? Assuming stop loss is static, let's say give or take about 20 points, I could have taken 4 losses in a row, and then this trade I could have won for 5.3R, and from an R multiple standpoint, I'm still up 1R, therefore still being green on the day with even a under 50% win rate, okay, which, you know, at face value, a 50% or lower win rate is horrible. However, now that I have prioritized R multiple over win rate, I am still green on the day. This is obviously not the case if you're trading a 1-to-1 RR, and this is the reason why I stay away from 1-to-1 RRs. Now let's get into some more examples of how and why win rate does not matter as much as your R multiple. Now, in this example, I have a 1-hour wick CE here where I can potentially frame an entry from, right? So we want an entry from this area here or higher, okay? This is the CE. We need an entry above the CE, okay? We have a clear draw on liquidity lower at 23,150, right? This is where we have a draw on liquidity. So around this area is where we would be targeting. Now, let's say that in order to get this entry, I try to trade multiple times. Let's say that my first trade here was going to be a short directly at the CE. And again, let's assume a static 20 points of risk. So that would put me at 42, right? If my entry is at 22, my TP is going to be 42. Let's just target the previous day low and see what this thing does. What happens right there? We end up getting stopped out, okay? Now, let's say that I wanted to trade, again, a little bit higher, okay? So let's say I wanted this trade right here. Well, guess what? This one also gets stopped out for 20 points static, okay? Now, let's see. So officially right now on the day, I have a 0% win rate. 2 trades, 0 wins, okay? Now let's see if I can get a third trade in. And my third trade usually would be a confirmation setup. So personally, if I take 2 limits and both limits fail, I will wait for a confirmation setup, and that's what I would be willing to take, okay? So what would a confirmation setup be here? In this case, it would most likely be like an inversion fair value gap, okay? So right here on this candle, we get an inverse fair value gap. All right. So my trade would look something like, let's say, a retest of this inverse and then a stop loss at this high. A little bit more than 20 points of risk. However, you guys can see the R multiple is amazing here, right? So I'm down total, I'm down 1R, or sorry, 2R, and this trade is 6R, okay? So taking this trade, I would be up on the day officially 4R, okay? So let's see what happens here. I get tapped into my trade right there, all right? We make a new low. Now I can go ahead and adjust this stop loss. My adjusted R multiple is 26. Not that it matters too much, right? The initial R multiple is really what matters. And let's see what this does, right? Do we go and take this low for a full 6R? And what happens right there? We take the low for a full 6R, okay? Now, right now, I have a 33% win rate on the day, right? I won 1 trade. I lost 2 trades. I have a total of 3 trades. I have a 33% win rate. But somehow, I am insanely green because this trade hit full TP, right? And then obviously, you can continue this lower into, you know, the draw that you had. And I'm sure that this traded it beautifully down towards that draw. Total R multiple would be 24 from the initial, right? The initial R multiple here, not adjusted. Initial R multiple would be 24R. This all happened in 1 day, by the way. This is a trade that I actually did take. All right. And so there you go. There's a 24R trade here after losing twice. Still a 33% win rate on the day, but I am up 22R on the day, okay? So this is a basic gist of why R multiple matters a lot more than your win rate. You can have an extremely low win rate and an extremely high R multiple and still be profitable. I have 2 models. This is a model that I share with you guys publicly, right? The flow model is something that I share with you guys publicly, where on this model, I have not the highest win rate. I mean, I'll target like 2 to 3R max typically, and my win rate on this model is give or take about 70 to 80%. So the win rate is definitely a little bit higher. The R multiple is lower. However, I have another model, which is a much lower win rate. I'm talking closer to 40% win rate, which is objectively, that's horrible. However, my average R multiple is 10 to 12R, okay? And that's a perfect example of how a profitable system, or how a system can still be profitable with technically it's fundamentally wrong, right? According to most people. However, I think what's really fundamentally wrong is prioritizing your win rate over your R multiple, because the fact is that you're not a robot. There is going to be times where your model doesn't perform and your win rate is going to take a big hit. How do you remain profitable when your win rate takes a big hit? Well, you have to trade something more than a 1-to-1 or a 2-to-1 or even a 3-to-1, right? So if you up your risk to reward, you can give up some of your win rate and still have a profitable system and allow yourself to be wrong more times, okay? Which in the end would be more helpful to you, right? So that is a gist of why how you can still be profitable with a fundamentally flawed system, and hope you guys enjoyed that. Okay, so with the end of this video, comment down below what you think. If you guys use a 1-to-1, what your experience is, I would love to know. And if you're somebody that went from using a 1-to-1 to a system that's more like this, and what your experience has been. Okay. Have a great rest of your day, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.